under Section 38(2) of the Uganda People's Defence Forces Act and Rule 61(1)(k) of the Rules of Procedure of this House. Aware that Article 210, Article 210, Clause D of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda mandates Parliament to make laws regulating the Uganda People's Defence Forces, including the deployment of troops outside Uganda. Noting that Section 38 of the Uganda People's Defence Forces Act provides that the President may deploy troops outside Uganda for purposes of peacekeeping with the approval of Parliament. Further noting that on the 7th of October 2023, Hamas and allied armed groups launched a large-scale attack in southern Israel, killing around 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and taking more than 250 hostages. In retaliation, Israel responded with a large-scale military campaign aimed at dismantling Hamas and recovering the hostages, which has caused mayhem in the Gaza Strip. Aware that the current Israeli-Palestine conflict is rooted in more than a century of competing national movements, disputed territory, repeated wars, and failed peace efforts that has led to extensive destruction in the Gaza Strip, a very high death toll, mass displacement, and severe humanitarian crisis, requiring immediate intervention to protect the civilians and allow for increased humanitarian access in parts affected directly by the conflict. Cognizant that the United Nations Security Council, at its 10,046th meeting on the 17th of November 2025, adopted Resolution 2803 of 2025, which, among other things, welcomed the establishment of the Board of Peace as a transitional administration with international legal personality that will set the framework and coordinate funding for the redevelopment of the Gaza Strip pursuant to the comprehensive plan and in a manner consistent with the relevant international legal principles until such a time as the Palestinian Authority has satisfactorily completed its reform program as outlined in various proposals, including the peace plan as presented by His Excellency Donald Trump, the President of the United States in 2020, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Republic of France, and can securely and effectively take back control of the Gaza Strip. Recalling that Resolution 2803 of 2025 calls upon member states and international organizations to work with the Board of Peace to identify opportunities to contribute personnel, equipment, and financial resources to its operating entities and to give full recognition to the International Stabilization Force, acts and documents. Noting that in the month of July 2026, His Excellency Donald Trump, the President of the United States, via multiple emissaries, contacted His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, seeking Kampala's contribution to the International Stabilization Force by sending Uganda People's Defence Forces contingent. Further noting that on various dates within the month of July 2026, the Republic of Uganda, in accordance with Section 38 of the Uganda People's Defence Forces Act, has held planning meetings between the Uganda People's Defence Forces, senior leadership and officials of the United States Embassy in Kampala, as well as the leadership of the International Stabilization Fund on the deployment of Uganda People's Defence Forces contingent to the Gaza Strip. Aware that following the invitation by His Excellency Donald Trump, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, is ready to deploy in the Gaza Strip the desired Uganda People's Defence Forces contingent in accordance with Section 38 of the Uganda People's Defence Forces Act. Appreciating that the acceptance of the request by His Excellency Donald Trump, the President of the United States, by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of Uganda, is anchored in the following legal, diplomatic, and humanitarian and strategic justifications. 1. Participation of Uganda National Stabilization Force is consistent with the national objectives, in particular, National Objective 27.2, which provides that Uganda shall actively participate in international and regional organizations that stand for peace and for well-being and progress of humanity. Additionally, Uganda has a strong army with capable organizational structures, which has enabled Uganda to successfully support peace operations, notably AMISOM, now AWESOM, South Sudan, Central African Republic, and various United Nations peacekeeping missions in order to enhance international peace and security. 3, Uganda's participation as part of the International Stabilization Force will aid in preventing further conflict in the region, thus contributing to broader international security by reducing risks of renewed armed conflict between Israel and Palestine, preventing extremist groups from exploiting instability and sabotage the ceasefire implementation process. Uganda's participation will enhance monitoring of compliance, supervise implementation of security arrangements, assist in demobilization, and support the return to normalcy of the otherwise unpleasant situation obtaining currently. Uganda's participation as part of the International Stabilization Force will guarantee an ample opportunity for antagonizing sides to plan for ushering in peace in the Gaza Strip. 6, Uganda's participation in the International Stabilization Force will contribute to elimination of terrorist cells that have greatly contributed to international terrorism, that have in the past used the Gaza Strip as a base of operations due to the ongoing conflict. Firmly committed that throughout the period of deployment, the Uganda People's Defense Forces will remain neutral, comply with international humanitarian law, protect civilians without taking sides in political disputes, and operate under clearly defined rules of engagement. Now, therefore, be it resolved by this Parliament as follows. We seek the resolution of Parliament that Parliament supports the decision of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, to deploy the Uganda People's Defense Forces in the Gaza Strip for a peacekeeping mission in accordance with the Constitution of Uganda and Section 38 of Uganda People's Defense Forces Act. I beg to move.
Honorable Speaker, Uganda is a member state of the OIC, the Organization of Islamic Countries, where Palestine is a member. Given that we have an umbrella which joins Muslim countries, it might raise a diplomatic issue, especially not knowing which side Uganda is going to be on in Gaza. It's a battle between Palestine and Israel. They all fight a different war we do not know about. It has been there for years and years. And chances are that war is not about to end with the involvement of the UPDF. Now, the big question, and maybe a point of clarification I'm seeking from the mover, is to clarify to the country on which side is our army going to fight with. And 2, if it is a religious war, assuming, and given that Uganda is a member state of the Organization of the Muslim Countries, is it not going to raise a diplomatic issue between Uganda and the other member states of the OIC? Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. And as a country is deploying outside Uganda, I must say that for the first time, that government is doing the right thing first. Honoring that Parliament is important, bringing a motion before deploying. So I give them credit, and I urge them to continue doing the right thing. But Right Honourable Speaker, I think it is important that some time frame is placed to this. I remember when we deployed in Somalia, we didn't know we would stay in Somalia up to today. So it is important that some time frame is put for how long our participation is going to take in Gaza, but also our sons and daughters who will be going for deployment need to be treated well. We have information, stories from our sons and daughters who return from deployment complaining about their facilitations, that some people take advantage of their service. When they return, the package due to them either is given quarter or even not given at all. Many people who return, who are supposed to go and bond with their families, are kept in the barracks without allowing them to go back home because their facilitation have been hoarded by the people responsible. So this can also give a discouragement to selected members of the forces who are being taken for deployment. People who go for deployment need to go with open heart, clear-minded, without thinking backward that what could be the problem. So I think I support the motion so that we also participate in international arena. Thank you.
Thank you. Now,
our forces for peace missions. In 2007, when we were going to deploy in Somalia, there was a motion tabled by the then Minister of Defense, who is now the Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Chiyonga. When that motion came to the House, it was referred to the Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs to review the terms of engagement. Among those terms, we need to know the agreement that has been signed between Uganda and the deploying organization. In this case, whether it's the UN, whether it's the US government, we don't even know yet. We also need to know the funding of this force. Who is going to fund our stay in Gaza? We also need to know so many of those details that we cannot get in the motion that the Honorable Minister has tabled. Because, Right Honorable Speaker, we are deploying lives. It's not about NRM, it's not about opposition. It's about the lives of the soldiers that we are sending for the peace mission. I think it's important that the Honorable Minister of Defense gives us, even if it's 2 days, we get these details. We scrutinize the motion.
Raise your procedural matter.
We scrutinize the motion.
Raise your procedural matter.
My procedural matter was, if there's already a precedent that was set in 2007 when we were deploying in Somalia, why can't it be followed now?
Thank you. Now, Honorable colleagues.
Now, this is the right time to add retired sergeant, because we are talking matters of security. We are talking matters of people who serve this country. I'm giving you personal experience and also a word of encouragement. I worked in Somalia under AMISOM for 1 year, 2019-2020. It is out of the money I got from Somalia that I was able to go back to school. I studied law, I'm a lawyer. And that is why I'm here. So, honorable members, life is lived once. Whether you stay in this parliament, whether you stay where, you'll die. And not everybody who has gone to Somalia or whichever mission have died. The generals are here. I was in Somalia with the Honorable Mulongo, who was our boss then. Honorable Lydia Wanyoto is there. So